Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. I am so glad to be back with you. I messed around with my headphones, so I do see that we have a couple regulars here. So Melissa, Annette, Barbara, if you guys can let me know if I'm good or if I sound crazy, I'd appreciate that. I also see Bernadine and Kathleen checking in. I'm very happy about that. Um, the system that we used to stream was saying that there were some problems getting onto Facebook, but when I just popped in, it's not working. Okay, please hold. Okay, how about now? Just like one crazy thing after another. Are we good? Okay. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with those headphones. I tested them out earlier and they were fine. I'm gonna just order new ones or something because I don't know what else to do. And apparently I hit mute on my phone instead of on here. So it wouldn't let me unmute. So I appreciate your patience. I promise I have actually been doing this for over a year. It might it might look like that's not true, but I promise I'll get it together. Okay, everybody's saying we're good. Virginia, all you missed being late was some technical difficulties, so that's good. Yeah, I will get it figured out over the weekend and we'll be good with headphones by next week. All right, so more important things. Tonight we are going to be using a fellow design team members' cards as inspiration. And then I'm going to share with you how I kind of take that as a base and kind of make it my own, changing out some colors, changing out a stamp set, and always giving credit where it's due. So I did ask Samantha's permission before I kind of recreated / used her cards for inspiration. But I am going to switch over because I want you guys to be able to see what we're working with. There we go. There we don't go. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So this is Samantha's little card set that she made for the Pink and Main blog. And it is absolutely adorable. It's using one of our favorite paper pads, right? So I have it here, that colorful ink spots. We love it so much. And I absolutely love how she balanced out that white space with the pop of color. And they just really immediately jumped out at me. And you guys know white space is not my strong suit. So I thought this would be a really fun one to kind of use as our inspiration. And she did say, go for it. So that is where I started out. I definitely knew I wanted to stick with the colorful ink spots. I absolutely love this paper pad. It's so beautiful. And I haven't set in my mind which colors we're going to use, but we're going to follow the same idea Samantha had as well by letting the colors that we choose kind of dictate the colors of the images we color, which I think is fun. So we'll pick that in a minute, but I want to walk you through the other stuff I grabbed. One of the things that Samantha did was she put her sentiment on the white space. And I liked that idea, but I wanted to swap out, instead of the Mommy Lay images, I wanted to use the floral butterfly that's in the seasonal butterfly set. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be May, but it really doesn't matter. It's just a beautiful flowery butterfly. And because of this stamp set doesn't have a lot of sentiments, right? To everything there's a season, that didn't really fit my vibe. So I grabbed the Let's Celebrate stamp set, because in my mind, this in the like corner with the butterfly, any of these really would be super beautiful. And I like how like elegant and a little more dainty these feel for kind of that light airy butterfly feeling. So that was my train of thought on those choices. And then Samantha did more colorful background paper. Right, she's got the pink and the yellow and the teal and the yellow, and I love that, but I don't have those card stocks, and I am more of a higher contrast. I love a black and white. So I grabbed black and white. So I have my asphalt and my ice rink cardstocks. And so we're going to kind of just use these to create, like, they're not going to be like sisters to Samantha's cards. They're going to be like cousins. So at the end, we'll probably be able to tell that that's what inspired us, but they're not going to be exact copies. And I'm not even going to look at her cards again. I just kind of have in my mind that general layout, that general idea, and we're just going to build from there. And I'm also not going to tell you how to, I don't want to get into my views, or I don't want us to argue at all. I guess it's setting it up wrong, but I know that giving credit or being inspired by other people's cards, or even casing and like copying other people's cards, I don't like to call it that. But recreating, I guess, is a better way. Is kind of can be a touchy subject. Personally, for me as a design team member, I view my role as being there to inspire you to create. You are more than welcome to recreate any of my cards as exactly or not as you feel at any time. It doesn't bother me personally. Not everyone feels that way, but I think that a great rule of thumb is to just give credit where credit's due. If I was going to make these cards and post them, I would at least tag Samantha in the caption, right, on Instagram or wherever is putting it, just to be like, hey, I was inspired by Samantha. Go check out her card set to see how beautiful they were. To me, that's enough. To most people I've talked to, that seems to be enough. If you don't feel that way about your cards, please put it somewhere so that people know. But also, if you're watching this and you are ever inspired by what I make and you would love to just recreate to learn, by all means, go ahead. I love seeing my cards recreated, or seeing stuff that may or may not be inspired. Doesn't bother me. So now that we got that out there, I want to pick a paper, I think. That is so pretty. I'm thinking I don't want the greens, and I don't think I want anything super dark. I do love, and we have florals, so we could do a lot of color, right? I like the kind of pastel-y rainbow. I like the brighter rainbow. This is also really pretty. I'm kind of torn between the brighter rainbow. I kind of want the brighter because we're going to have a lot of white, right? The white. Come on. That was definitely user error. I think the white space that we're going to be adding is going to be a lot already to lighten everything up. So we are going to trim this guy down to 5. We're going to do an inch from each, smaller than normal A2 on each side. So 5. by 3. Oh no, I don't like that one. Did I do that right? 5, by 3 3/4. Yeah, that's gonna get us like a pretty stripe. Although I was thinking about turning it horizontally because that would also kind of separate it from the inspiration a little bit. All right, let's go ahead and trim down our other papers before we stamp and color. Oh, Lisa, no problem. And I'm so sorry, with all the craziness in the beginning, we didn't do like a roll call run through, but I appreciate everyone who is here. I saw some new faces at the beginning. I thought I was talking to you. Apparently I wasn't. But just know that my intent was there. All right, so this is a A2 panel, right? We're gonna trim this guy down to match our colors, our colorful panel. So 3 3/4 by 5. That's gonna be the one we slice up. And I also want a teeny tiny little mat of the black to go around this. I gotta order some more ice rink and some glue. I gotta start a list. 5 1/2. And then I want it really small. You know what I'm gonna do is just go ahead and glue it. Sometimes when I want a really teeny tiny mat, I just glue my, oh no, that's a terrible idea. Oops. I want to put the colorful one down because the white one's gonna go on top. Glad I caught that in the last second. So I do like to glue this in so I have the amount of matte that I'm looking for. And then I can trim the other 2 sides down to match because the wire in my trimmer will show me what that edge is going to look like. If you're more of an exact crafter, measure it out. There's nothing wrong with that. But you can see already, like just that base, the color with the little black mat on that white base is so pretty. I love that. I'm just going to give this liquid glue a second to dry, and then it'll just act like it's not even there. We'll clean this up and we can get our butterfly stamped. Hey, Dawn. Suzanne, yeah, this paper is a 10 out of 10. I'm going to probably grab another one of those when I order 2, because I know I'm going to go through this paper pad. So again, this is the seasonal butterflies. We haven't used these yet, but we're going to just use the floral, kind of springy. In theory, it's like May's butterfly, but there's no butterfly rules. You know what I mean? I'm going to trim down a piece of my Copic Express It paper, my coloring paper of choice. And someone had asked a question, I think on Facebook, in the comments of the last video, asking which Copic markers I use, which is great because I'm not sure I always say it. I use the Copic Sketch as opposed to like the Chow. But I am also thinking about trying out some of those Olo markers that Pink and Main carries. All right, let's, oh no, where are you? Um, Rude. My asphalt ink pad is missing. Got it. It was with the other Pink and Main inks instead of with the other black inks. Go. Oh, Barbara had a good tip. She said, Olas are fun to work with. Just remember to order an even amount because you have to connect them together. Fair enough. Thank you, Barbara. Okay. Let's start thinking about, I think I want my Let's Celebrate at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp that where I just want it to go. And then we can cut around it because its placement is more important. Maybe we'll do Oh Happy Day. That'll give us a little more leeway. Connie, you're good. You still haven't really missed anything. Okay, hold on. So this guy's floating this way. I was thinking of doing it that, but I don't want this kind of going off the page. I kind of want him coming onto the page. So right, if we do like that, he can be up here. Yeah, that's good. We'll put the letters down on, I want it pretty close to the edge. So I'm actually going to switch this so it's at the top of my MISTI. So I'm not dealing with that upper edge. And we're going to stamp that in black because we have that black mat. I really got to re-ink this. So I have my asphalt re-inker. Not going to overdo it right now. I'll add some more in a little bit and let it sit overnight. Okay. We'll lay that to the side to dry because now it's going to be extra inky. Oh, Virginia picked up the white and silver toner sheets. I can't wait to see what you make with those. I think they're going to be so fun. I love those pink boxes that that Pink and Main ships in. They're so fun. And as soon as you like see it on the doorstep, you know exactly what it is. So Laura, I'm going to trim the white paper in half, right? That's going to go on here, not in half, but we're going to cut a piece here and then cut another triangle so we can see this color kind of shining through. And so I'm just trying to keep in mind when I add this butterfly, it's going to bridge the gap between and cover up some of our colorful background. So that if I said connect the two, that's probably what I was thinking, was how the butterfly is going to bridge that space, that gap. Hey, Therese, no problem. Okay, so again, I'm using that wire in my trimmer to make that cut. Okay, and that's going to go just like that. And now I want to make sure that this line that we cut next is parallel, right? We want to make sure, you don't have to, but for the look I'm going for, I want it to be parallel. So I'm going to use the guidelines on my board here to help me make sure that whatever I'm cutting, it's at the same angle. And Virginia, I'm pretty sure they are popped up in Sam's pictures. I'm definitely going to be popping them up because we haven't used foam tape in a minute, and you know that that's unacceptable for me. All right, so 1 inch looks like that, but our butterfly is pretty big. So I'm fine with now I want there to it to touch that corner. So let's start off with 1 inch. So that's going to look just like that. See, and then our butterfly is going to go up. And maybe it isn't connecting the whole way because I still want those colors, but I still like that he's kind of flying in from the left. So that's pretty good. And if you were going to use a smaller sentiment or you wanted to do like a single layer sentiment, right? If we had done Wish Big, you could have cut that even lower and gotten even more of your pattern paper showing. So keep that in mind, that however you decide to, whatever you decide to stamp there can affect how much space you have. So let's go ahead and color this guy in. All right. I want this to be a little bolder, a little more pop. So I'm going to go in with the black 100 and shade in the middle section and the border around those wings. And I think having, again, more contrast is going to also help this to look a little bit different than the inspiration. Hers was kind of like really light and sweet with those super cute Mommy Lay, which I think we're going to have to color in next week because I was going to color them tonight, and then I realized I really wanted to try to make this different, like tweaked a little bit different from Samantha's. So I didn't want to use that stamp set for this project, but I do really want to color it. I want to make those little characters come to life. So this is like the easiest coloring. And I think I'm going to leave the background part of the wings, like the inner parts behind those flowers, white to kind of, again, contrast and pull in the stark white and black background that we're adding. And you guys know I'm a huge fan of spinning your paper to help you color, not trying to manipulate your hand or your arm or hurt yourself. to hit a weird angle. Never forget that you can move your paper. All right, Mary, have a good night. I'm curious, when you guys are looking, if you're feeling stumped on a card, but you want to create, where do you go for inspiration? Do you go to Pinterest? Do you go on Instagram? Do you look through other art forms, right? Like other art techniques, niches? Do you just look at other cards? I kind of do all of the above, just kind of depending on my mood. But I'm always curious about what other people, where you got other people find their inspiration. All right, let's go with some B20s. Actually, no, let's go B-teens. They're a little poppier. And the blue in this is pretty. I'm trying to keep in mind the stripe that we're going to be able to see of color and kind of stay in those color families. Barbara said Pinterest. Virginia said my YouTube channel and Instagram. Thank you. Melissa said Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram. These are such small spaces. We're really not going to have a ton of room to shade. That's okay. It's nice to do something a little bit different, I think. And I kind of like this idea of each wing maybe having, those are too close, like two colors in them, right? So like this one's going to be like blue and teal. Then one of the other sections, we can kind of like work it around so it gives that kind of nod to our paper. So really just using the 18 and 14, we're pretty much just skipping the 16. Keep them to the side just in case we need more. Susan says she works, she looks through her paper stash for inspiration. I love that. Melissa said sometimes the company's website for the stamp or product I'm using, that's always good, right? They put up that inspiration for a reason. Cindy's checking out Pinterest and the companies that she's using. Ooh, she has a save section on Facebook. That's a good idea. So that way you have stuff ready to pull from when you need it. So now we're going to pop over to BG's. The BG09. And there's also like a leaf there, and we do have like a little tiny hint of like a limey green up here. So we'll pull in a little bit of green here too. That's like kind of an olivey. Where's a scrap? Yeah, that's okay. We need like a really deep blue. There we go. So there's our kind of blue teal section. Then we will jump over. That's such a good idea. Jansette said her and a friend do card challenges and then like back and forth with each other. I love that. I love a card challenge. Okay, so let's go to the like, see, that's what I was worried about. Let's go to blue. Let's do blue, purple, purple, pink, and pink, orange. We'll kind of do like counterclockwise. So those are kind of deeper. So we'll stick with the 90s for a couple of these blue flowers. That was the deepest shade we brought in at the end, was that B99. So we'll bring that more in here. Jump to 7. The tiniest little bit of 95. And we'll bring in some of those purples. Let's go BVs. So some BV08. Hey, Leslie. You're definitely not too late. BV08. And that way when we go to the pink purple, we can pull in some true Vs. BV08. Let's go. I don't have as many color options over here. My BV collection is pretty small, but we'll go BV13. And then let's go back to the dark blue, I think, for the center of that guy and the center of this one. I guess the same green, because it's the only green that's kind of in this card panel that we're using. So let's just go ahead. We'll just pre-color the like one leaf in each section. All right, so now let's go to our V purples. Let's do 17. These bottom ones are pretty small. Some brighter VO4. And some RV. Let's go 19. And 14. I want a bunch of contrast for how small of a space we're working with. And we'll bring in some BV09 for that center section. This one too. Okay. Let's swap out to, those are the teens. I want a different pink, but I'm not sure that I want, maybe like R30s. $35 and $32. They just have like a little bit more coral to them. So I think they will work a little better. Laura said the only thing more calming than relaxing than coloring is watching someone else color. I agree. I also still watch so many other card makers color. And I feel like I still learn something pretty much every time. All right, and then we need our like fun goldeny oranges. Hold on, I got a cough. I was doing so good too. What do I want? The like 20s? Is there enough change difference there? No. Where's the 20 that I need? Hiding? Yeah. All right, I think we're gonna do wire 24 and wire 21. Oh, and we'll fill in these guys with them too, those center sections. Trying to be mindful about staying in the lines for these little guys. Missed that one petal, I think. So that's our little like coordinating rainbow, but it won't fully all click until we cut it out and see how it all lines up. Oh, thank you guys so much. Yeah, I think that these seasonal butterflies are just so fun. Because like we talked about before, there's like the September one or August one is like technically school themed, but you could do that for end of year, like end of the school year, thank you cards for the teachers, a teacher friend for their birthday. You could color these flowers all in like fall colors and it would be beautiful. So don't let, right, like the 4th of July one could very easily also be Memorial Day, or for, you know, a veteran that you want to send a card to. So don't think that you have to be limited by like whatever month order it is in the packaging. Leslie got her craft courtyard kit today. I love that. Oh yeah, that's gonna be good. You guys know sometimes my vision does not come to life, but this one looks like it's definitely gonna work the way I was hoping. So we're gonna attach our black matte, oh, let me bring you back up, flat onto our cardstock, because we're gonna pop up the white sections with foam, our little cutout sections. Okay. And I love the liquid glue because it gives me a second to adjust, make sure that things are looking pretty straight and even. We went this way, right? Yeah. Like that. So let me grab my phone. I have it right here. We might have to trim some to get into this little corner. So I'm just going to cut off a little piece and then cut it lengthwise in half. Thanks, Cindy. I thought the different colors in each part of the wing would be like a cute. I'm never going to be able to match exactly, right? Like the spots and everything that's going on in that background. So I think it's a fun way to like nod to the blend and the kind of ombre effect that you were getting without having to worry about copying it. Because I'm never going to win, or like recreating it. I'm never going to be able to do that. So instead of stressing myself out about it, we'll just use those colors in our own way. Oh, Cindy, these are, what are they? Fiskars. Easy action non-stick. The non-stick part is a lie, but that's probably because if you look really close, you can see where I've like worn away some of the coating on there, but they're like reverse scissors, and this part slides up and down and locks into place. I think I just got them at like Michael's, but I think that they're way easier to use, and I like fussy cutting with them because it lets you hold your hand differently. Easy action Fiskars. That's what I would search if you want to see more about them. All right. We're going to have to ooh, that was good. Okay. So we have our little, it's making like a little lip, right? Let's see what we can do about the bottom. And there's no rule that says that your sentiment has to go on the bottom like we did. I just think that having the weight down there is a little more appealing to my eye. But you can definitely experiment with this. And even with the shape that we did, we could still go vertical with this if we had stamped the sentiment in a different way. So play around with the like overall layout. So I'm kind of putting one side down to get it started. Oh no. See, and that's why we never like push down on our foam. There we go. Because that was not even. Oh, I love this so much. And then, yeah, I'm thinking, originally I was thinking like over top. That is pretty. But I also kind of like a little under. Yeah, I like that because then you can see more of the color underneath. So we're still going to put a tiny bit of foam on this upper wing where it's going to be kind of on that pattern paper. This is what I mean by like, mine are not nonstick. That's like the one thing that drives me nuts about these. Yes, Sydney, me too. I like it just a little bit lower. Okay, and we're going to add some liquid glue to the bottom. Like that. There we go. Press down. Oh, I love it so much. You know, the one extra thing that you know I want to do, and it might not be a great idea. My gut is telling me it needs some sequins. Am I going to ruin it? You guys let me know in the comments. Do I go for it or do I leave it alone? Misty says bling. Leslie says bling. Anybody going to try to stop me? I want to keep it either white or clear. To be fair, I'm not trying to like rainbow. Although rainbow could be cool. Bling time, bling, bling, bling. Oh, good. Everybody's saying bling. Love it. I love my little bling enablers. All right. I do think, I know we've used these a bunch, but I just think they go with everything. The diamond confetti, the kind of like clear mirror silver. I kind of like this idea of like, this is going left to right. I kind of like the idea of going like upwards. I mean, they're both going left to right. I like the down versus the up. I think that's kind of cool. Versus trying to like cram some around and like follow. I kind of really like that. Just like two little trios. I know a lot of people do two. Should I do two? I don't like that. I like this. I think the three helps to like arrow in, right? Three, three, three. Okay, good. Yeah, I love that. Yay, go us. Go team. It's so much more fun crafting with you guys because sometimes I just sit here and I feel like I get stuck, right? What's that called? Analysis paralysis, where like I just get so stuck on what I'm not sure what to do, so I just do nothing and I end up just like wasting time sitting here doubting. It's much easier when I have you guys being like, oh, 100%. And when you agree with me, not that you always have to, feel free to not agree with me, but when you do, it like really is validating. All right. So there is our beautiful card inspired by Samantha's from the design team. Go show her some love. I would love to tell you her last name, but I know I'm going to butcher it. But you can see, in my opinion, definitely inspired by, but does not look like a copy to me anyway. I'd still feel like I wanted to give her some credit if I posted it on my own without telling you guys, but I do still feel my iPad is making this look way darker than it is, by the way. But I think we tweaked it enough that it still feels like me. So let me get you a good close up. See if we can get the light to bounce out a little bit. Oh, I love it. Yay. All right, that is our card for tonight. We're definitely going to have to use the Mommy Lay stamp set that Samantha used next week. Like I said, if you guys have any requests for anything else that you'd like to see or techniques you want to see me do with it, any other products, paper, colors, whatever you want, I got you. Just leave me a comment. Replay crew, I go back and check the comments the day before we go live next as well. So definitely let me know what you think. Clean and simple. Two words that don't usually get associated with me. I love it. Thank you, Melissa. So yeah, thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. I appreciate you. I appreciate your patience through my audio snafus. I will get some new headphones here before Tuesday. And speaking of, we will be back here Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. And until next time, happy